Hi, I'm Rob the Accountant. I like to help people build companies while finding solutions to problems that may come your way. How's everyone doing today on this Friday? Hope everyone's getting ready for the weekend. Only a couple weeks left before we get to school, but I got a couple comments today. I want to make two quick points. The first one is the power structure. I guess it's why Kamala Harris is the candidate, but this is not the focus on her. But again, it's one more issue relative to power and how power corrupts absolutely, because nobody has voted for Kamala Harris or her vice president. Nobody has cast one vote in the primary for her. There wasn't even a primary. So what I want to talk to you guys today about is this judge in Detroit. So we have this judge in Detroit who has students who are visiting his courtroom for a field trip to learn about law, to learn about the system, to learn about how, the law is blind and justice is blind, which is just a crock of shit, because everybody knows justice is not blind. It's very visible. It depends on who you are, what you got, what you don't got. But I digress on that. So this poor girl fell asleep, okay? And her race isn't important right this minute because they're in a classroom setting with all the other students, and she fell asleep. And this Detroit judge, and the article's going to be linked, and it's going to be on this video here, he gets mad at her and scolds her for sleeping on a field trip, and then puts her in handcuffs and in a prison suit. Now, this just goes to show you that the level of power in this country. These fucking idiots who get elected, and they think because they get elected, they represent the personal views of themselves and how they treat you, right? But what they really don't understand is they're a representative of the state. So when the state is imposing justice, it's the state imposing justice. It's not their fucking idiots. It's the state. So this guy took a student who was just a student in, I don't know if it's middle school or high school. They look like they're middle school. They could be high school. Who knows? You don't want to prejudge people. But he puts her in handcuffs and a jumpsuit for sleeping on a field trip. Have you ever heard some shit? So then on top of it, let's just jump into it. It's really not racism in that sense, because everybody views racism as this function of a white person having domain or power over minorities. And that's just not true. Racism is the system at place having domain and control over minorities, or actually everybody, but then treating minorities differently than the rest of the people that it's supposed to represent. So in this situation, what you have is you have a black judge, right? A black judge putting handcuffs on a black girl. That's what you got. That's the scene. A black judge putting handcuffs on a black girl. This is going to be here for a day or two, but it really pisses me off because it's just not here. This level of political, I am your master, you must follow me. Like here in New York, we have these road signs and it says obey the speed limit or pay the fine. First of all, obey that's a religious context. That's not follow the rules or pay the fine. But no, all up and down New York State's thruway, they say obey, obey. Who the fuck are you? Like somewhere along the line, the political institutions in the United States of America forgot that they're not kings, queens, royalty, princes, or any of that crap. You're sent to the government to work for us. And it's just one more example of why power corrupts absolutely. And as they're throwing Kamala Harris at you and saying she's got your best interests, and she's never had a policy idea for crap, what she's gonna do is she's gonna remind you how bad white people in the whole world is. Because what was Biden doing today? Biden today was commemorating some riot in 1904 that nobody currently is even alive for or knew what happened or had anything to do with. But hey, we're gonna unveil this big freaking statue because two minorities did a crime, and then the people of that community went after all the other minorities for those crimes in a group punishment setting. And that's what we're doing today. We're celebrating this bullshit. So as you go and you watch this video and you see this judge, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the girl did. She is a student on a field trip, and your kids, if it was your kid, you'd be the same way. You'd be outraged. You wouldn't. Okay, people fall asleep. People have bad attitudes every day. Every adult in New York has a bad attitude. Okay, that doesn't give you the right to put somebody in handcuffs and put them in a jumpsuit. So I just think that we need to really start having a little bit more of a questioning about the character and the values and the constitutional obligations these people think that they have when we send them to power. If we don't start asking these questions, then what you're going to just continue to see is more candidates getting chosen without a vote. You're going to see more judges pushing their own views and, oh, you disrespected me. Listen here, where I came from, the only people that got your respect were your elders. And if you want to respect, you earned it. I'm Rob the Accountant. I hope you guys have a great weekend. This judge shouldn't just be suspended. This judge should be disbarred, and this judge should be taken off the bench. And it's just one more example where, they don't ever call racism when it's brown on brown. But when you have 5 black police officers killing a black guy and you got a black judge locking up a black girl, somewhere along the line, they have lost who they are, what they stand for, and who they represent. And they should not be anywhere near power. You folks have a great day and a great weekend. Bye for now.